Hi, my name is Emiliano Martinez Aguilar. Hoping you are having a good day. Today, I'm here to present you one of my favorite places on earth, the Sierra de Chihuahua, uh, for the uh, for the workshop of geocultural challenges of globalization. Well, let's begin. Mm, the freedom and simple beauty is the good Tipasak, Christopher McCandless. Well, one of the traces that I will see on this place is set by the word. It's its bioma and how it's so different for and it's so different from how the society around Mexico or even us could imagine. Because when we hear about these places, our very first image is that it's in a warm place, or that the society lives in poverty. When the real traces are so different as with that. However, another trait that I could identify is a trend that grows all the Sierra Tarahumara. And that's the way how local people get from one place to another. That's a very strong trait set by the human that has become some benefits, but also has some bad things, as how there is so sad. The classism by the people and how much do you pay from where you are, or where have you been. Um, Also, it depends on from where part you take the ride. And well, this place, his location is, how his name says, is on principally on Chihuahua, Mexico. This sierra is across all Mexico, but it's principally on Chihuahua. His locality, this place is set by the locality that are the Tarahumaras, but unfortunately nowadays this has been changing. And we could see that havoc of globalization is arriving on these places, because now all kind of people lives in there from different countries as Germany or USA, but they have been changing the game from the very first beginning, because the people blend with the Tarahumaras and get into a new kind of society and cultures as the Menonitas. Um, this group of people that sells stuff like cheese or milk. This all products become from the cow. Um, Also, the sense of place I could notice. I could see the society from this place. It's like when you go to Disneyland and you see everything as a game or as something magical. This is how the people see the place, or have a sense of the place. Also, when I went to there, I I could perceive this magical thing on the town, but when in reality it's so different for the people that live in there, and it's his work that lives there. The locales has suffering several changes from the way of work, because at the beginning the locales used to work for his own and his for the people that lives on there. For example, as a woodcutter or an ice cutter, even as a rancher. But the sense of places I could see when I go, it's so different, because now the people needs to work as a different things, like a tourist guide, or works into the hotels, also works writing like travels around the Sierra. There are so different tourism interests around this town. So yeah, it's so different for each people, the sense of place. Us as a tourism, we could see them like another park, or something like that, but with the touch of this Michael thing. Yep. Well, let's continue to the next slide. The sense of the belonging. That, well, as a tourist, your sense of belonging, as I said, is so different as the people live in there. Because for us, or the foreigners that lives in there, because there are foreigners from, how would I say it, from Germany. This picture I take on the train is from one kid, from one little kid that there were, while traveling on the train for transport his products that he sells. They haven't been from tourists. So yeah, there are foreigners that live there, like kind of um, permanent permanent vacations, if we could name it like that. Well, these foreigners, they feel like they belong to the place when the reality could be other, because yes, they live on there, but his way of life is so different from the people who grow in there, as we could see on the other images. Also, on the left hand of the slides, we could see how there is a map with a lot of these addresses that people put in, because they feel like they belong to the place there, because if they put a shoe or a foot on the place, they belong, and they are part of this place, this magical place, as I could say. But the reality is other, that his initiations are well, not initiations, sorry for the word, his roots are others. His roots are these tribus, these Taramara tribus. Um, yeah, how we can see on the other images on the right hand, um, that they need to work so hard every day, for it a little bit. It's so different to decide live under, and the different sense of belonging to live under the decided, and born on that place. I think that is so different, and I could notice that the sense of belonging of the people that born in there is so different. It's like his way of life. Like if we on the city, we saw a car, or we saw, I don't know, some buildings, maybe for the Tarahumaras, they could see a tree so specific, and they know where they are. That is their they say of belonging. um, so yeah, there is so difference. Also, I will see how there are different ways of power, and what is considered power in there, because have born in these places, how I said, it gives you certain advantages from the other foreigners that doesn't know the place of the way of power. There are kind of material and non-material, because yes, all the people has access to almost everything on there, but there are something special places that only knows them, the locales, and for getting to there, you need to ask them if they can lead you, and you need to pay them for the services. However, there is other different power, that is the private industry, that has taken most of the touristic things in there, from, like, for example, from the travel and train, the adventure travels, and in kayak, mountain climbing, certain specific views of the Sierra Tarahumara. They have such a very high cost for you can be in there. So yeah, when that all that stuff that they're bring us needs to be, or could be, free, but the private industry decides to have these power relations with the Tarahumaras, and without the Tarahumaras. Mm. Well, now some of the bordering traces, um, that I could see that it has these places, is how I already said, the way you get into these places. That the only two ways to do it is to purchase a ticket for one of the two trains, because yes, there are different trains. One for the foreigners, the tourism that are so fancy and have different classes for on the train, and in the cost and it have a cost as a little bit expensive for us as some Mexicans, but for foreigners that came from USA or another country, I don't know, from Europe, um, they are not that expensive. But yes, and then it's another train that are especially and uniquely for the people that born in there or live in there, like the Traumaras, as I said, or the people who lives in their communities. So we could see this practice as a kind of the rescission from the black people at the past, but because why some group of people needs to travel on different trains from other, it's like kind of, it feels bad. It feels good. um so yes, That's one of the important traces I could notice. So you have this choice, one of these choices to um, to buy a ticket, or the other one that most of the people up to that lives in there is walk all the Sierra, um, um, because is what they do. They prefer to walk than pay a ticket on the train, or it depends if they have such much necessity. They purchase it, but it's like for special occasions, and with a train that is special for theirs. Um, well, one of the solutions that I could give to this type of discrimination or disagreement that I could see is that we are not conscious, or yeah, we didn't see it because on there it's so normally this thing of uh, mm, like socially on educationally, because um yeah, us as like us as a society, they don't affect us, but the other people, the group of people that lives in there, that born in there, like Tarahumaras and this group of people, they are affected, and they didn't know, they think they are good and that stuff, and the way of life is good, and they need to adapt it and this kind of stuff, when the reality is other. Then that we as people, we can educate and educate others, the others. So both parts could be more way educated for. So yeah, that's my solution. And one of the four ODS, um, the quality education that ensures inclusivity and equality education, and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Because yes, I think that the best solution for most of the problems is the solution. Is the sorry, is the education. Because if we educate ourselves about these practices and this type of discrimination that we don't see, um, then on the future will be in disappearing these practices, even if we haven't noticed it yet. But yes, that is it. That is all. Thank you for your attention. And these are the references. I use um, all the slides that our teacher gave us for the course, and some 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 from internet. Thank you very much. See you.